Welcome back. It's a new episode. We are in almost the mid-October, so those news are new for us, maybe not new for you, but you have to struggle if you click on the video.
Can't hide from that motherfucker, man.
Righty, let's get started. Let's get to the first one. There are rumors that certain coupe versions of SUVs from Mercedes are going to be discontinued.
It's time to stop!
So now the rumors are saying about the GLC Coupe and GLE Coupe about to be discontinued due to low sales numbers. So comparing to the overall numbers of the GLC and GLE, the normal SUV version sales, it is like relatively below 10%. So some of it is 8%, some of it is 5%.
That's on me, I set the bar too low.
So Mercedes, since they need to invest money in the other cars, into new developments, etc., they are trying to discontinue, save up some money, and produce new cars, which is kind of a good news.
Oh, yeah, baby!
Like GLE Coupe and the coupe versions of SUVs, they're not really the comfortable cars, so they're losing basically the features of the SUVs which they used to have, and instead of that they're getting that sporty look. I would say that GLE 63 and this kind of cars with the powerful engines, they still got some juice in them, but in general they do not serve the purpose of the SUVs anymore, because headroom, because of the suspension and all that. It's like a niche which shouldn't really exist in real life. Like,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
If you want to get yourself an SUV, get yourself a normal SUV, the family size car, and get yourself a normal race car, let's say, or the car which you're going to enjoy driving. But don't try to combine two things in one. That's not how cars work. That's not how the world of cars works.
Really, nigga?
So the same goes for the example of people who want to buy a sedan, which will be like a big car, but they want it to be extremely powerful in terms of handling, etc. It simply doesn't work like that. Your race car is supposed to be light, supposed to be powerful, supposed to have specific suspension, supposed to have specific handling.
Okay.
While the SUVs, they should be comfy, they should be like a big hippopotamus on the road, that you'll just step on the highway and just drive straight. So yeah, kind of a good news, kind of normal news, but there are some fans of GLC Coupe and GLE Coupe, which I've never understood. However, personally, I love the Cayenne Coupe. I just love how it looks like. So yeah, nothing bad.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, and actually the next one is quite exciting for nerds. Quite exciting for nerds, quite exciting for ecologists and the petrolists. So look, you know that from the ecological perspective, internal combustion engine is a bad thing, let's move to electric, blah blah blah, stop the pollution, etc, etc.
Do it! Just do it!
So, my dearly loved Porsche came up with the patent, and it was registered. So basically the patent is registered, but the thing doesn't exist yet, so it's not proven to work.
No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time.
What they made a new engine. They made a new engine which has two phases of compression and power instead of one.
It's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
So how the ordinary nowadays engine works, there is a type for the intake, compression of the cylinder, power, and then exhaust comes out. So now they'll have intake, compression, power, and only after that exhaust.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
Basically, you make every engine like job twice.
Wow.
And that means twice more productive. That means twice less amount of the pollution. Basically, for the same amount of the pollution, you're making the twice of the work.
Wow, how do you do that?
Magic.
So, and that means that the Porsche is going to be the only company which, if they will produce that engine, if they register the patent, I hope that they have something in the background for that. It's not just released for the sake of the releasing.
For what? Why not? Why? Why not? Why though?
Which actually a lot of companies do. They just release the patent just because they can, because they want. They're just reserving this technology for the future for themselves. But hopefully this will be something real. This will be something that they're going to use and produce the car with. So this will be the only brand which will still produce internal combustion engines, which will be powerful, which will be funny, which will fit in ecological norms, which will be existing. And the funny part as well is the engine sound. No one heard how this type of engine sounds. So this is like something completely brand new.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that? Who are you fighting?
When the last time you heard that the company produced a new engine?
Never heard something?
Exactly, because it didn't happen for like what, 20 years or so?
2,000 years later.
So new engines are coming in, and from Porsche, and woohoo! But Porsche knows how to make them, so there's no doubt about those guys. So very exciting news. Let's see how it's gonna go, and hopefully our petrol heads are gonna stay alive.
Yeah, but the only concern here is that how much premium they're gonna charge for that. Since they're only one, they're creating the monopoly in this case, since they're patenting the whole thing. It's gonna be probably one of the most expensive cars.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the Porsches are not cheap at all anyways, so...
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
But if you're gonna make something extremely expensive, nobody's gonna buy it, right? So there's always a market of demand and supply. There's always like economical rules in there. But also, what Porsche might do, they might sell their engines to others.
That's the attitude. You can sell anything. Sell me this fucking pen right here. You can sell anything, sell that. Go ahead.
They might sell the usage of that technology to other brands. So right now, if that thing will come on quick, this thing could save whole Volkswagen from the nightmare which is happening right now because of the electric cars. The whole financial crisis, actually. We're back. We had a tripod that collapsed in the middle of the news. And that's what that's DJI, right? Freaking Chinese. I mean...
Did you say that you're racist?
Not at all. No.
Like, can you just make it for humans? Like, you know, what about user friendliness? Something like that?
Let's hope it's not gonna explode.
Oh, speaking of explosions, the next news is a kind of funny one. We're speaking about my beloved Porsches. Now let's speak about the second part. So you know that in Florida there is unfortunately huge hurricane. So, and a lot of floods happening there, and hopefully everyone stays safe and everything is alright. But there is a consequences for Teslas.
Wow. Really?
And for electric cars in general. So, I'm just gonna push this guy down. So, yeah. Now, I mean, Nikola Tesla is not that bad guy, so let's get the Tesla is not.
He was the best guy around.
So, yeah. Electric cars there, they are getting flooded, and the water there is with salt. So, accidentally, water plus electricity doesn't work as expected. I mean, it works by the laws of nature and the physics. So they ignite. Here's a video of it.
Camera captured the moment that the fire started, which eventually grew and burned down their entire home. The family says the Tesla Model X. And the most interesting thing that law enforcement told, basically the government told the people who drives electric cars to keep them on the high heels somewhere out there, because hurricanes there and the floods is not something unexpected. It's something what happens almost every year, and or at least once per 2 years.
So yeah, they ask them to keep them on the high heels, to store them somewhere so that they will not simply explode. And the worst part, that once your electric car burns, it will burn multiple times. It will ignite multiple times.
On the daylight, oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time.
So it's just because, for example, one battery cell ignited, it ignites and burns a couple of them. Then after some time, there is still that spark that will ignite another battery cell. So you can, most probably you can see around a lot of news on the internet that electric car got distinguished and then burned again, ignite again, and distinguished and ignite again. So even firefighters, they have a very, very huge task putting out the fire from the electric car. So yeah, that's something about the explosions.
But the question is, we had a very heavy rains last year in the UAE. Why electric cars didn't show themselves over there?
Meantime, we're learning Tesla vehicles apparently can navigate water as well as they do roads.
Salty water. Salty water.
Yeah, but I mean, everything is salty in here because we're on the sea, literally.
Now, first of all, look, there is a normal water, and if normal water, you'll splash it on the battery, nothing's gonna happen, right? But if there is a salty water, there is a chemical reaction that happens with the salty water and the battery, which ignites them. So even the cars that there was one ship that was carrying, I think, Volkswagen ID4s, and it got ignited because the cars, they were outside of the containers, they were just simply on the board, and it was transported through the sea. So guess what freaking happened again?
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Now at this point you just laugh about it, like you cannot more blame on that. Okay.
Thank God we don't have salty water in here, otherwise explosion is guaranteed.
That's a little salty.
Yeah, I was saying, thank you for reminding me. What I was saying, that there is a ship that was carrying electric cars, and they were carried on without any cover on top. So the salty water in the sea got into the ship. I mean, it's obvious. So they ignited on the ship.
Rescue teams are racing to put out the fire.
And they lost the whole ship. So imagine and now there's going to be delivery coming in.
Hello? You order Chinese food?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's have some food on camera.
Mukbang or what? 1 minute. Gonna cut that. The hell I was saying.
What did he say?
About the hurricane that the ship ignited with the electric cars on board.
No, you messed it up completely. What hurricane ship ignited?
Sir, are you okay?
I'm a little messed up.
Now, the electric cars, they are getting ignited when the salty water connects with the battery. And the same thing happens in general whenever you ship a car. So, for example, in UAE, we have a lot of imported cars and imported by the sea. It is really, really important to check around your AC battery, even if it's not electric car, to check if there's any salt or salty water around the battery area, because it is very dangerous.
Wow! Very dangerous!
That's how they ignite. And here, during the flood, there was no salty water. It's a normal water, because it's a flood from the rain. And you cannot find the salt just everywhere because of the location of UAE. It's not salty air, right? This is just the salty water on the, how is it called? On the Persian, what is it?
Give it to me, just give it!
You mean the sea?
Yeah, but it has a name.
It's like...
It's either Persian or Gulf something.
Whatever, I'll just put it on post-production.
I don't know, I'll look dumb if you guys post redaction like that. Okay, yeah, let's be natural. I'm dumb. Okay.